Good morning, Panthers. I'm Reese Mordock.
I'm Layla Petrovic, and today we take a look at a Mehlville media alumni that is going viral, the band's trip to the Big Apple, and a politician's visit to St. Louis. And it all starts now. Welcome to another Mehlville Today broadcast.
First, we take a look at how the Parenting 2 classes are following a different type of curriculum.
Panther Palace program is kids around the community. They come in for a preschool day for about 2 months. They come in and they get the whole preschool experience here at Mehlville.
I think the students are responding really positively. It's really nice to get to see students who you wouldn't necessarily think are really awesome with kids come in here and they're able to be themselves, kind of let go. It's a class where you can kind of just be yourself and be free and just hang out with the kids while you're teaching them and being a good role model. This is rewarding to the high school students because they're able to see all of their hard work that they did during the first 8 weeks of school unfold with the pals when they're here.
My favorite part about the program is getting to hang out with the kids and teach them stuff because you don't get to do that stuff anywhere else, so it's pretty awesome.
The J part.
The purpose of this class is to teach high school students about the different developmental stages of a preschool age student from 3 to 5 years old. And then also for the Panther Pals to come in and be able to have a preschool-like setting for them to still learn in.
Before they came here, we had to plan our whole lesson, and we teach them about math and science and language arts and different kinds of things that they can do.
I think the preschoolers really enjoy being here. They have a lot of fun. They get to do a whole bunch of different activities. They get to hang out with a whole bunch of different older kids. There's 3 different classes full, so they're able to get a different group of high schoolers every block. And they really enjoy being able to just kind of learn but also play at the same time.
My favorite part is playing with the kids.
Look out for those petite Panthers.
Recently, Attorney General Jeff Sessions visited St. Louis to discuss local matters. Isaiah and I have the story.
On March 31st, Mehlville Media was given exclusive access into the Eagleton Courthouse to see U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The speech was focused on public safety and the importance of the law enforcement.
And all of us who work in law enforcement want to keep our communities safe, plain and simple. That is the heart of our jobs. It is what drives us every day. For many of you and your staffs, you take extra step every day of putting your lives on the line with that traffic stop, that search warrant, that response to a disturbance in a home, and making arrests.
Attorney General Sessions also touched base on problems in St. Louis as well.
So we're all disturbed to learn that violent crime is on the rise in our country again. We are even more discouraged to learn that this is happening amid an unprecedented, I believe totally unprecedented epidemic of heroin and opioid abuse. In some places, like here in St. Louis, these two crises are closely related.
Sessions capped off his speech by sending a strong, inspiring message to the nation's law enforcement.
We will encourage the proactive policing that keeps our neighborhoods safe. We will have the back of all honest and honorable law enforcement officers and prosecutors. The recent surge in violent crime is real. The epidemic of heroin and opioid abuse is also real. We can't wish those problems away or hope that things will get better on their own. Instead, we must act to ensure justice and safety for all Americans. Look forward to beginning an effort that can restore America to a safer and more prosperous place. Thank you all, and God bless.
With photographer Reese Mordock, this is Isaiah Bynum for Mehlville Today.
Many Mehlville alumni find success after high school, but Freddie Judson found himself viral fame. Nikki and Michaela have the story.
It's your boy Freddie. Mehlville alumni Freddie Judson is becoming a very well-known social media icon. Recently going viral on Facebook, he has been gaining a lot of attention.
So basically it all started with me meeting my best friend, Bree Chief, on this app called YouNow, which is the company I work for. She just shouted me out one day, and that got me to about 10K. And then after that, I was always rapping and stuff, like just period. And I just started posting videos. And then next thing you know, like one of my supporters had sent me a video. It was like, hey, this is you, all over Facebook. So I'm like, all right, well, I wonder what post it was. So I went to go look at it, and then it ended up being a rap that I posted. It was like one of my second ones I posted, and then it came to about 180 views when I first seen it.
I know that she gon' ride, and if you ever get bored, you can text and call me, and you know that I'm a slide.
And now it's at about 201K, and now I just like drop any random challenge that's going on or any rap challenge like that, and I just continue to grow from there. Y'all, what's good? It's your boy Freddie Great, back at it with another broadcast. How y'all doing? I got a song that I dropped recently on iTunes and Spotify called Late Nights, and of course it's by Freddie Great. I got a merch coming out, which is just like hats, hoodies, and sweatshirts and all of that, because they've been asking for it. Now I'm working with companies like promoting clothing on my page or promoting music videos for people or any artists like that, and they'll like hit me up and be like, can you dance to my video and leave it on your page for a day, and then they'll pay me to do stuff like that. So that's how everything just came about. Next thing is the whole Sprite deal. Everybody asking, how did you get that? Where did it come about? Mainly, when I was growing on IG, I was like, everybody gets sponsors or they endorse a certain company, and the company reach out to them. Well, I was like, I'm going to go the opposite route, and I reached out to Sprite. It started off with me tweeting them on Twitter, just taking pictures with Sprite bottles, just being funny. Me and my brother took one and we added them, and they added us back and was like, oh, look at you, a Sprite endorser. So I didn't really know what that meant at the moment. So I'm like, okay, I wonder what that is. Basically, it's just somebody who endorses a company in their own way without the company knowing.
But guess what? All in the end, I just want to be your lover and your best friend.
With photographer Nikki Longland, this is Michaela Dinsmore signing off with Mehlville Today.
Recently, Mehlville's honor band took a trip out of state.
Let's take a look.
The band went to New York this year for our trip, which is a pretty long drive. It seemed that this year's trip, as far as being on the bus, went faster than last year when we went to Florida. We had a great time. We got to see a lot of cool stuff. On the way, we stopped and worked with the professor at college. One of the first things we did when we got to New York, the bus driver dropped us off at Staten Island, and we rode the ferry across and got to see the Statue of Liberty and all kinds of cool stuff.
It's 15 some odd hours, but it's always longer taking a large group. So it was probably closer to 18. Just being in the city, the kids got to see a lot of historical sites. They got to just kind of stand in Times Square and take all of that in. We did see a Broadway show when we were there, which the kids that came into the Broadway show, they weren't excited about it. After they saw it, after they were finished, I think they were pretty excited. Kids got to see a lot, they got to do a lot. They left pretty energized and excited and came home tired.
Over spring break, Mehlville seniors also took a trip, but this time out of the country.
The Belize trip was so much fun. My girls that I went with were wonderful to travel with, and we got to see a lot of really cool things. We went into the rainforest, we had beach time, we did a lot of physical activities like cave tubing and zip lining. It was a really great, refreshing spring break.
It was really fun traveling with all girls out of the country and with Miss Oglen. Shout out to her. I did so many cool things like crocodile hunting, zip lining, cave tubing, snorkeling, snoobing, golf karting.
I know the girls really enjoyed zip lining. Some of them had never been zip lining before, and so it was really exciting to get as high as we were. We were right on top of the canopy, and we got to zip line over a river, and different lengths of the zip lines were really fun. We also were able to cave tube, and there's only 2 places in the whole world that you can cave tube, and Belize is one of them. And so cave tubing is when you get into big inflatable tubes and go underneath a mountain into a cave, and someone pulls you through sort of that cool water, and it was a really awesome experience that I'd never had before. So for the future, for next year, for spring break of 2018, I'm super excited to take kids to Ireland and Scotland. I've been to both places before, but never at the same time, and it's a really great trip. I want people to know that this is for anybody. Even if you think that that's not something that you can afford, we're still a year out, so you have plenty of time to start saving money. EF has great payment plans, and I'm going to have a parent recruitment meeting on Tuesday, May 9th.
We were gonna make a video to wrap up the Belize trip, but Liza did it for us.
Segura!
Deixa eu dizer o que penso dessa vida. Preciso de mais desabafar.
Segura!
Deixa eu dizer o que penso dessa vida. Preciso de mais desabafar. Deixa eu dizer o que penso dessa vida. Preciso de mais desabafar.
After a decade of teaching at Mehlville, Mrs. Kaufman is retiring at the end of the year.
Chris and Jabari have the story.
I have been at Mehlville High School. This is my 6th year. I've taught in the district for all 27 years, first elementary and then middle school. Spades, Woolwyn, trout wine, mostly beer bomb, and then Bernard Middle School for 8 years, and then here now for 6.
She pushed people past their limits, which is good. She really embraced people's strategies and skills, and had them do what they could do.
Mr. Kaufman and I met a long time ago when our sons were in elementary, because they went to school together, elementary, middle, and high school. I'll be honest with you, I didn't like her when I first met her, and she knows it. But after I got to know the real her, we became very good friends, and now, as you guys say it, we're BFFs.
I'll probably work part-time somewhere to get out of the house and supplement my retirement, help pay for my insurance, but I kind of want to be a little more relaxed in my life. Teaching is very intense, and the whole thing, and stressful. Not the kids, I love my students. But yeah, something a lot less stressful for the second half of my life.
My favorite memories with Ms. Kaufman were probably her teaching me, new skills, new strategies in art, and just her personality. I'm always going to remember that. She's always good for advice, and she's like my out-of-home mom. She's like my school mom.
Well, that's all for today's broadcast.
Make sure to check us out on our website, which is now one of 4 to receive a superior rating, the highest honor for scholastic journalism.
Find us on Twitter, Snapchat, or Instagram. Thanks for watching.